Right, enough Manchester United. What about some quickies, Don?
Let's do it.
It was on Monday night, but let's go back to this very eventful Newcastle-Liverpool, which is a bit of
What a game.
Hutchinson derby, really.
Sort of, yeah. Being a Newcastle fan,
Yeah.
former Liverpool player. I couldn't wait for that game.
Yeah.
The days leading up to the game was the most excited I've been to sit
I
back
love
and not
that.
work on a game
Yeah.
and just a bucket of popcorn thinking
I
there's going to
love
be 54 red cards in this game. It's going to be, the atmosphere will be off the charts.
Yeah.
And it was the most amazing
It
game.
was.
It was brilliant.
Was it too much of, did Newcastle make it too much of a kind of a battle more than a football game? A bit like what Slot said after the game?
Sort of, to be honest, I think they had to go that way.
Yeah.
I think they had to go that way. The banners in the stadium was get into them. Now, that's always a fine line between Anthony Gordon getting a red card. Another one, by the way, because he got sent off against Brighton in the semi-final last season. And it was a stupid red card because he was never going to get the ball. And when you see it again, he's chased all around the angles.
Players.
Exactly.
Don't
But
know.
I think they had to play that way to try and get something out of the game because, you know, at 2-0 down, to still show that same fight and same energy and same atmosphere from the crowd and making it hostile, got Liverpool back in the game. So I thought that was Newcastle's best way of getting something out of it.
I thought they were being naive at 2-2 because I think at 2-2 with 10 men, just take that point.
Oh,
and he
no,
felt,
100%.
But he felt that the momentum was their way because they just scored back-to-back goals to come back to 2-2 and that they wanted the third goal when I thought, just don't do that. And it's a lovely Liverpool goal.
By the way, when you see the Liverpool goal again, I think everyone had a touch. And it was
amazing.
those amazing. It was the best move of the night in terms of Liverpool
was.
passing.
Yeah,
but onto Newcastle, I think they had to go that way to make it hostile. To get into Liverpool, to put them off their stride. And, you know, I think the Newcastle players and the crowd, but more so the players and Eddie Howe deserve so much credit from that game. Loads of Bruno Guimaraes was amazing.
Incredible.
I thought the best three players on the pitch, was probably a couple more. I thought Van Dijk was amazing, never lost a header. Szoboszlai, who played right back in the midfield, had a hand in the third goal. Bruno Guimaraes, Tonali and Joe Linton before they went off.
Shoulder for like, I don't know how long he played with that injury.
I know. And then Joe Linton looked like he ripped his groin.
Yeah.
So it was an amazing game. It didn't let me down. Another classic Newcastle-Liverpool game.
I agree.
We've not mentioned Rio Ingamoa, who's had a brilliant pre-season, by the way. He got the winner, Jules. What a player.
Incredible. I think he's 17 tomorrow. I think he's born August 29th.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, we said the move before is great, and the dummy by Szoboszlai almost makes the goal.
He should get an assist for that.
He should get an assist for that every day. But the finish for a 16, borderline 17. Who'd never played in the Premier League before, only like a League Cup game or maybe a few minutes there and there, to finish it like that inside of his foot.
Do you know why? Do you know why it's so good? The technique's obviously really good, but any 16-year-old, 17-year-old in that situation would have been reading the headlines. Young player gets the winner at Newcastle St James's Park. Hero youngster does it again. Brilliant pre-season. It would have been natural for any young player to have that thought and then skied it over the bar or missed it. The fact that he kept his head, it's 16. Shows you how sort of mature he is and can be.
Because he can take a touch, right? He's got so much time. He could have taken a touch and then even get closer to Pope and then slot it in past him or something. But that confidence, something. And you know when...
And do you know what's going to happen when he gets his birthday present tomorrow?
No.
New contract.
Ah, love
He's
him.
only on about 300 quid a week.
I know.
He's good luck to the kid.
Yeah, well done. And
Rio Ferdinand told me about him ages ago.
They signed him. John Terry told me about him because they got him from Chelsea, which is a big move that Chelsea were not happy with at all. But great future ahead for Rio, that's for sure. And the start of the season is going from bad to worse for another of your former club, Donny. West Ham, who this time were beaten in the League Cup against Wolves.
No, this is painful.
This is not good.
No, this is painful. And I was chatting to some West Ham fans last night, older West Ham fans, and they are not renewing season tickets. They've completely given up any hope because the ownership at West Ham have took their home away in Upton Park. They're making them play in an athletic stadium, which the atmosphere is not great.
Yeah,
it's quite toxic there. I don't think it's a Graham Potter thing. If in truth,
I still don't think he's good enough.
Maybe not, but I don't think it's him. I think he needs help. I mean, they've lost so many players. They lost Mohamed Kudus to Spurs, didn't replace him. The signings that they've made, £35 million on Tadibo, not good enough, can't last 90 minutes. Guido Rodriguez, Jules, me and you are faster than him now. Can't move.
I know.
In the cup game the other night, Callum Wilson got 4 minutes alongside Fulkrug. That obviously is on the manager.
Yeah.
But it just feels like, from what I'm hearing from the West Ham older fans, is their heart and soul's been ripped out of this football club. And I don't know where they go because they're struggling. And they are definitely in a relegation battle.
Yeah.
It's sad times there.
It is, man. It is.
And another player talking sad times is Jarrod Bowen.
Yeah, because he's obviously the captain, and when they went to clap the away fans, as you should do, even after a defeat like the one on Tuesday night, got into a quite heated exchange, we can put it that way, with some of the West Ham fans, then apologized for it, and rightly so. I think he shows that the frustration, especially for him, because he's too good to...
I don't mind it.
He's too good for him to be in a team that is fighting against relegation, right?
Well, it's getting to the point now where the West Ham fans are actually saying, Jarrod Bowen, you should move on for your career. That's how sort of sad it is. But I don't mind Jarrod Bowen standing up.
No, me neither.
I don't mind.
I agree.
Because on the night where the fans are fuming and they have a go at the players and have a go at Jarrod Bowen being the captain, he goes over there, tries to calm them down. They give him a little bit of verbal back, which is acceptable. As long as it's not going over the line. He gives them a little bit back. In the cold light of day, when West Ham fans wake up the morning after, they'll go, at least he cares.
Yeah, exactly. Because there will be a lot of players in that dressing room who don't care.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Who would have went off the pitch double quick.
Yeah, completely.
He went over there and he tried to smooth it
over.
No,
I agree. I'm with you on that. Right, let's go for some more quickies.
Let's do it.
Only a few days before the end of the transfer window, where will Alexander Isak be on September 2nd? I have to ask you, as a former Liverpool player, as a Newcastle fan, you're right in there.
I'm a
what
bit
do you think?
bored with it. Honestly, just get him gone.
No, fair enough.
Get him gone. Take the money
now. You think
now.
for Newcastle, take the money?
I think it's got that far. I think it's toxic. I don't agree that he's went on strike. I still think the club should fine him 2 weeks' wages and give that to a local charity. I've got no idea why they haven't fined him, because he is in breach of contract.
Yeah.
But I think it's getting to the point now where it's hard for Newcastle fans to try and accept him and ask Eddie Howe and the players to try and get him back into the squad. You're getting a good player. But he's missed the pre-season.
Yeah.
He goes away with Sweden. Wouldn't surprise me if he got injured.
Yeah.
Or wouldn't surprise me if he came back semi-injured.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. But I think it's gone that far now. I think just get the 130 million, buy a couple of players, try and strengthen the team, because it's just an ugly look.
You don't think the fans would forgive him?
I'd sack my agent if I was him. No. Truthfully,
I mean,
I would sack my agent on the spot, because the advice he's given Alexander Isak is shocking.
I know.
Your agents should not be telling you to go on strike and not play for your club.
I know.
That's terrible advice.
I know. You don't think the Newcastle fans would forgive him?
In the short term, no, and I think they'll never forget. But we know how football works.
Yeah.
You score the winner against Sunderland.
Yeah.
They'll accept it. But the worst thing about what Alexander Isak's done is the Newcastle fans won't forget. And then what happens come December when the January window opens again?
Yeah.
Does he not play again because he wants his move in January?
Yeah.
Or what happens next summer?
No.
So I just think it's a very, very ugly look.
Do you think he should have had a new contract already, which was not given to him, with maybe a bit of a pay rise to kind of not keep him sweet? Because this is wrong to say, because he's already on a lot of money and stuff like that. But one of his points is like, the club hasn't really treated me that well.
It's a bit complex, because I think the new contract got offered while the former owner and Amanda Staveley was there. They're no longer at the football club.
Yes.
And I think the current owner, and Jamie Rubin, went to meet Alexander Isak at his house the other day, the day of the game. So we'll never know what was said.
Yeah.
But you would surmise what the owners would have said to Alexander Isak is, stay and we'll give you a new contract.
Yeah.
Now, we've heard nothing from either camp. What was the answer to that?
Yeah.
Did Alexander Isak say, yeah, I'm going to stay, I'll sign my new deal? If he does, then it's about the money.
Yeah.
If he said, which is what we're hearing, no, I still want Liverpool.
Yeah.
Then I think, as the owner, and you look him in the eyes, he says, I want to move. Now, there's two schools of thought. Are you buckling and allowing the player to leave?
Yeah.
Or do you do what's best for Newcastle and get the 130 million and sell him, move on and bring players in?
I've said it before.
I would get rid now.
I think the Saudi owners are thinking like, you don't try to force her to sell him if you're Liverpool.
But then what happens if he goes away with Sweden and gets this injury?
Yeah,
then you're not going to have him
for
2 months.
I know.
Because that's the scenario I can see happening.
Yeah.
I've seen it before. I've seen how this movie.
Yeah.
I've seen how it ends.
Yeah.
And he might get a genuine injury where he's not.
But then they would
fit.
have done it. But then if you let him go 2 weeks ago, and then you've got plenty of time to replace him.
Well,
not
maybe
2 days.
2
weeks.
Well, maybe the 2 weeks was trying to get
Convince
Alexander
him
Isak to get him a new contract, and it's took this amount of time. And also, Newcastle haven't got number 9s in, and the fact that Anthony Gordon's now got a 3-game ban, it will lead you to think, well, they need Isak even more. But they need 2 strikers even more.
Yeah.
So if you get 130 in now for Isak, who doesn't want to play for Newcastle, he's told the fans, he's told the club, now do what's right for the club, get as much money as you can, go and buy replacements and move on. You're losing a good player, great player. But it's going to take Liverpool a month to get him up to speed.
Yeah,
he hasn't had a pre-season.
So
that's someone else's problem.
Yeah, I know.
And then talking of problems, Newcastle now, Jules, are going to try and find another number 9. They've struggled all summer.
Yeah, do you remember they struggled with Wissa and the valuation between Brentford and them? And now they had another bid rejected for Jørgen Strand Larsen at Wolves, £55 million, which is a lot of money, really. But I think he's a very good player and would be very good for Newcastle. They've got a good crossover.
But the longer it goes on, Wolves will say 60.
Yeah.
65.
And also Wolves in a replacement too.
Yeah.
So at some point, they probably would be happy to sell him for a certain amount, but then they need enough time to be able to buy a backup when he's gone. And if you do that deal on the 31st of September of August or 1st of September, they won't have time. So they will say, no, we need a replacement.
And the funny thing is, if you look at Newcastle's window, and say Isak moves on to Liverpool, and they've signed Jacob Ramsey, they've signed Elanga, signed Ramsdale. If it was Wissa and Strand Larsen, you go, it's a hell of a window, by the way.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, absolutely.
Losing a good player, don't get me wrong, but it's still a fantastic window.
No, I agree. Don, I'm sorry to say that as a former Scottish international, but it's been a really bad week for Celtic and probably even more for Rangers.
Rangers was worse.
The St Mirren draw and then this red card after 5 minutes against Club Brugge and the heavy defeat again.
And do you know the fixture this weekend? Rangers, Celtic and Ibrox.
On Sunday,
I can't see Russell Martin staying in a job. I cannot see it. I mean, to lose 9-1 on aggregate is absolutely embarrassing.
It's a disgrace.
Celtic felt bad.
Yeah.
That felt bad, them going out the Champions League and not making the Champions League. They should have done.
Have chances.
The chances they had, but still, not to have scored at Celtic Park was a massive worry.
Yeah.
And their fans are singing sack the board.
Yeah.
And now Rangers lose 9-1 aggregate is horrendous look for the players, the club, but more so on the manager.
Yeah.
So this game could be monumental for, not so much for Brendan Rodgers, I think his stock is quite high because it's not on him. But for Russell Martin, he has to win this game.
Can you imagine if they get battered at Ibrox by Celtic? You could see it,
I could see
definitely.
it. Yes, I mean, the noise is coming out of what he's been saying and the tactics that he's been putting into games has been shocking.
I mean, he blamed the fans and the club the other day for the first leg defeat.
And he keeps saying we've got to go through the pain.
Yeah, like...
Well, you're the manager that's picking the side. Try not to have any pain.
Well, the pain that you self-inflicted yourself. It's mad. It's mad.
I mean, talk to the Champions League.
Yeah.
Celtic went out. Jules Donnarumma to Man City. What's happening there?
Well, the clock is ticking. As for Isak, as we said, there's only 3 days left and before the end of the transfer window. PSG and City are still talking, negotiating.
This is a weird one, isn't it?
He's not a right fit, right?
No, but is it Guardiola saying I've got one more year? Someone else's problem.
That's what I think. It's a very short-termist
Definitely.
decision. But PSG ideally wanted 40 million euros. City were just happy to give 15 or 20.
Yeah.
Could they meet in the middle at 30? Probably, but then City can't sign Donnarumma if Ederson is still at the club, and for now Ederson is still at the club. And by the time you listen to this show or watch it, it might not be. Ederson might be at Galatasaray.
They bid about 3 million.
Yeah.
City won about 8 or 10.
Yeah, 10. So they're still a long way apart. So I don't know what's going to happen. But the clubs are talking. It will be, I think, bad news for PSG if Donnarumma stayed because he's not going to play. So you're going to pay him for nothing and he's on a lot of money. And for City, I can't tell you if it's a better thing if they sign him or if they don't sign him because I think this is mess up Trafford. And again, I'm not sure Donnarumma is the right fit for the Premier League, considering how bad he is on crosses and set pieces.
Yeah.
And for City, considering how bad he is in his distribution.
It's bonkers, isn't it?
It's weird. It's
really got goalkeeper, absolute no man's land.
And you know what, Don? I think, and maybe you're right. Maybe it's just Pep saying, like, I've got one more year. On his line, he's the best in the world. He's going to win me a game. That's enough. And maybe that's...
it feels that's the way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because he's not the worst with these feet. Just deal with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't take any chances. Because you saw the goal that Trafford give away last weekend by playing it from the back.
Yeah. So let's see. Don, the League Cup is also finished for Bournemouth, who were beaten by Brentford on Tuesday. Is it bad because you could see them going on a cup run?
Yeah, I think if you're a Bournemouth fan, I think like many teams who have gone out this early, it's a disappointment because you want to go on a cup run.
Yeah.
The bigger picture is it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
I get that feeling as a player it is because you want to win. As a manager, fans will be distraught on the night. They'll think, another chance gone, having a good cup run. But when it settles, when the dust settles, I think the teams that have gone out like Bournemouth, I don't know if you agree. I think sometimes not a blessing because it's never a blessing, but it doesn't feel like the end of the world.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it's embarrassing because against a Premier League side of Brentford,
I agree.
It's not the end of the world.
And there's still the FA Cup where they did well last year, can do well again.
Yeah.
And for the style of football that Iraola has with all that intensity, some newcomers, to get used to it, it's probably not a bad thing that there's one competition out of the way.
Yeah. Let's talk about a man in form, Hugo Ekitike. Yes. What a player!
We've always liked him. You and I have always been a big fan.
So he's definitely made the France squad then?
Well, no. I mean...
Has he not made it?
I don't know. Like, on Tuesday, when often the night before, we get a bit of a brief. And on Tuesday night, I was told there's no Ekitike in the list. But by Wednesday lunchtime, when it's announced, on Wednesday morning, there's more meetings and that might change. I was like, okay, maybe Deschamps for now, in a kind of a first draft, if you want, let's call it that, on Tuesday, he's not in it. But surely through the night, he's going to think about it and think like, I cannot not call him.
Is it a World Cup qualifier, a friendly?
Yeah, it's 2 World Cup qualifiers.
So Ukraine, friendly, he'd be in, right?
Yeah, maybe, yeah. But even that, you think, okay, Colomwani hasn't made it, because my big fear was that Deschamps is so loyal and loves this kind of group unity. Right. If you've been part of the group before, even if you don't play anymore, you're very much part of the group. It's really
Pick
weird.
Your best players.
Really, exactly. So my biggest fear was like Colomwani is going to be in and Ekitike out, and we're going to be the laughing stock of the whole world, right?
Yeah.
At least Colomwani, who hasn't played yet because he's on his way out of PSG, is not in. But neither is Ekitike, and I'm a bit like, really? This was perfect.
So who's nicked his position?
So Marcus Thuram is there, and Marcus is obviously very good. Dembele is there, and Kylian. And I think in Deschamps' mind, you've got Kylian and Marcus Thuram. You play with one up front. Yeah. This is it, pretty much. Yeah. That's where I disagree, because Thuram can also be seen as a wide player.
When you look at what Ekitike does, he's like the perfect link for the likes of Thuram.
He can do everything.
Kylian.
Exactly. You can play him central, play Kylian on the left-hand side where he prefers to start anyway. Yeah. Dembele, if you want, even behind as a 10. Odyssey on the right, and you've got it. This is perfect. I mean, Cherki is in, and I can understand that because Deschamps likes him a lot.
Yeah.
And then the big other news was that Marnez Akliouche from Monaco, with the big hair. Yeah. He's for the first time in the squad, which is great, and he deserves it. He's a wonderful player, wonderful talent. It's just, I just feel like Ekitike deserves to be
especially the form that he's been in.
Exactly. But let's see. If he keeps that form, I'm sure October it'll be hard for Deschamps to not call him up. And Adrien Rabiot is also in that squad, despite all the argy-bargy.
I love it. You love that, don't you, argy-bargy?
Love argy-bargy. And talking about him, Don, Tottenham are interested, like West Ham.
Yeah.
Not so much about Spurs and West Ham in itself, but do you think Rabiot at 30 would be a good fit for the Premier League?
Been linked with Milan as well. Yeah. Perfect player, loads of experience, physical, can handle the ball,
he's strong,
can fight when he hasn't got the ball. I think there was ever a player, even at 30, to come to the Premier League and just settle in within 5 minutes. It's Rabiot.
I agree.
I think he's a brilliant player. He's very underrated. I think he's the type of player that you'll know better than me, but when he's in a dressing room, he's a leader.
Yeah, definitely.
That's probably why the reason that De Zerbi's probably fell out with him. Off the back of the argy-bargy. Because he cares so much. But in terms of the career that he's had and the player that he is and still is, I think he's a brilliant player.
Yeah, I agree. I would love him in the Premier League. Marseille is still maybe trying to keep him.
Yeah.
Realizing what a mistake it would be to let him go now after all of this.
Is it too far gone, or is there a way back?
It's just like
the owner likes him, right?
Yeah, everybody likes him. But there was that incident with Jonathan Rowe, but then they almost insulted his mum, which might be a bit of a like...
There's a line.
Yeah, from the family, it's a bit like, we want it up. So let's see.
Yeah, Akliouche you mentioned before, bright young player.
Yeah, so Tottenham and City are keen on him. Maybe not as in enough to sign him just now. But if you think about Tottenham, who tried Morgan Gibbs-White, that didn't happen. Tried Eze, didn't happen. Looking at Paqueta, that might happen from West Ham, but they also have a plan B and a plan C.
West Ham sell Paqueta.
I mean, like this I think they go down.
Yeah.
If they sell Paqueta, they go down.
Yeah, 100%.
And Akliouche is part of that kind of plan B, plan C, if you want. Monaco would like 60 to 70 million euros, so 50 to 60 million pounds. And he's 23 years old. He's got such a strong engine for a young player. Can run and run and run. Great left foot. Can play wide, central. Yeah, definitely. Lovely. Paris born and bred, obviously, which makes him even more special, as you know.
50 million on top of the price tag straight away.
Yeah, that's the Paris born and bred tax. Here you go. Thank you very much. I would love to see it happen either to Spurs or City.
Which is the better fit? Spurs?
Yeah, I think so. And also, I think he'll have more game time there. The competition at City. Yeah. I worry already for Cherki not to play enough. Yeah. So for Marnez too. But I love the fact that at least those clubs are aware that he's there. And if it doesn't happen this summer, it might happen in January or next summer for sure. Yeah. One more on the League Cup done. Do you think Sunderland and Leeds will care that they were knocked out of this round? But Huddersfield and Sheffield Wednesday. So it's not a Premier League opposition like we said for Bournemouth. It's maybe a bit... not good enough.
I don't think It's a hard one because Sunderland, Leeds, you'd imagine, are going to be fighting for the bottom 5-6 places of the Premier League. So if you offer Sunderland or Leeds the scenario where they go out the cup early, but they've got more prep time and they stay in the Premier League, or give it a better fight or a better fist of it, you'd go bigger picture. It's not the end of the world. You know, you want to try and have a run, like I said before. But I think the Leeds going out was a bit disappointment. But I don't get the feeling, Jules, they'll be that fussed.
Yeah,
just because of the timing. Just because of the timing.
Do you think the fans care about those cup runs? I mean, I know here we make a lot about the FA Cup.
I think they do in a way, but I think they're intelligent enough to know that if it might help in any sort of way, even if it's 1% of Sunderland staying in the Premier League or Leeds staying in the Premier League, if that helps by 1%, then I think they can sort of forgive it. It's not like an embarrassing one.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
We call Grimsby Man United.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, no,
the
I
fact
agree
that
with
they
you.
lost against two decent sides.
The only thing I would say is those defeats came on back of Premier League defeats that were quite hurtful. So Sunderland losing away at Burnley, Leeds being battered by Arsenal. Now you go into the league this weekend again when you think, okay, if you lose 3 in a row,
it might help them though in weeks down the line when you're not in that draw and you can have a little bit more. It might be a bonding session away from home, it might be away, or it might be a weekend off, or it might just help. I don't think, knowing the Sunderland fans that I know, I don't think they're distraught.
Yeah, no,
they paid them money, they wanted to win.
Yeah.
Not the end of the world. Jeremy Pino is on his way to Palace, Jules. Good signing?
Yes, the replacement, or one of the replacement for Eberechi Eze, of course. Different profile, more of a winger, pure winger, a bit more like Ismail Assar than an inside 10, if you want, like Eze was.
Yeah.
Was really promising at the beginning, then a really bad injury 2 seasons ago. Last season was much better in terms of assists. I think he hit 9 assists in La Liga and a few goals as well. Great dribbler, a lot of pace still despite the injury. So I think this could be a good fit for them. Just don't expect him to play like Eze, because if you're a Crystal Palace fan, very different style of player.